you know, there's so many people out there, and I work with so many people that have degrees in just a wide variety of different things. You know, clearly obviously aren't working in those fields or what have you. So it is, you know, it's not extremely difficult unless, you know, obviously you're in law, you know, or you're MD or nursing or something of that nature, education, and you're trying to obviously get into that, and that's the field and the direction you need to go. But I don't think so, not at all. You know, I think of, you know, kind of back to the word passion, it seems like the word of the day, but if that's really what your gut and your heart is feeling, and you really want to take that opportunity, take that career path, you need to take a leap of faith. You know, you need to take a stab at it. Again, what I do, coming into my senior year, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I was a student athlete, so I was really hoping that I got a shot to go to the next level, you know, play professional football, and unfortunately it didn't happen for me. And God bless, I had a terrific degree from, you know, obviously Texas Christian, so I was able to continue further my career by that. And what I really wanted to do is let's just work with people. You know, I love people, I love healthcare. Obviously, it's moving all the time, the law and fees. So you definitely can get into a situation or career that your major, your degree, what have you, doesn't essentially kind of tie you down to.
I think part of that too is, you know, while we're in college, we're thinking, okay, I'm a psychology major, I'm taking these psychology classes and this, that, and the other. So when you go out into the job market, you're kind of looking for the same major-specific jobs, and that's not necessarily what you have to do. What I did, because I have a degree in communications, what kind of jobs would you get with a degree in communications, you know? Some people were like, oh, you'll never be able to work in business or what have you, but, you know, you take the characteristics and the job responsibilities and match that to your personality or the skill sets that you have. I'm an outgoing person. I like to communicate. You know, I took a deception class, which was actually really interesting and was an awesome thing to bring up in my interview. Or maybe not. But, but, you know, those kinds of skills and characteristics are the things that you need to focus on. Don't necessarily focus on the fact, oh, I'm a communication major, I'm a business major, I'm a psychology major. It's what do I want to do? What do I want to be when I grow up? Right now, you get to figure that out. We're kind of grown up, and we haven't really figured it out yet either. So take your mind off of having to be on a certain track, because if you're not in your major anymore, you don't necessarily have to. Expand your horizons. You never know how exciting a career could be. I didn't know I wanted to be in marketing until I got into it. I didn't know I wanted to be in pharmaceuticals until I got into it. So, you know, just open your mind a little bit more and start reading beyond the job title and read what the job does for you or what you can be doing for your job.
Be willing to accept those challenges because if you're not challenged, you're stagnant in your own growth. And it's the difficult days that prepare me for later as a teacher. It's the challenges that make me a stronger person. So be open to challenges.
And keep in mind, no one out there was born an accountant or a nurse or a biology major, psychology major. So at some point in time, you had to identify a topic and you had to learn it from the beginning level. So when they ask you about that, just let them know. At some point in time, I had to identify something I wanted to chase down, and I had to learn it from the most elementary level possible. And I'm willing to do that here. So that's, I think they more so look, can you be successful? Are you willing to work hard? And that's really what they're looking for more than anything.
Well, it'll go back to looking at the job description, and I always take most of the job description and put it in my executive summary to say that this is what I've done. And you should have done that too, so that it's not a lie. But let's say it says, you know, hardworking or business development or something like that. I always put the keywords that are inside of the job description at the top of my resume so that they can automatically draw those connections. I don't focus on where my degree. I say that it's there, and I also don't know the year that I graduated, but that's an entirely different story. But just focus on those things and highlight those in your resume. Always gear your resume towards whatever job that you're seeking as well. You might have a generic one that goes with everything, but if you are trying to really go after a certain job, I always tailor my resume to that so that I stand out, that I'm not in the pile, in the trash. Does that make sense?
Does anybody read the Wall Street Journal? Anybody? I actually called Susan up this last week because there's an article in the Wall Street Journal of exactly what Corey's talking about, which nowadays a lot of the major companies have computer systems to run comparative analysis over how similar your resume is to the job posting. So they are actually have computer systems pulling those keywords out, and that may be the initial sifting device to figure out whether or not you should even be called that. So make sure you look at that job description and use those buzzwords. I'm looking for a team player. Oh, we got a team player right here. I'm looking for somebody who's hard working. That's exactly somebody who's looking for growth. This person's looking for growth. So that's going to be your best tool, the job description, as far as getting that resume passed through the 150 that then they sort through on that initial screening.